Hi, it's Paula, and I'm hoping this video sort of relates the importance of master data management. I am doing all my work in Power BI right now, and I'm opening up the desktop. We are gathering together data for a datathon this fall that has to do with homelessness in Calgary. So you don't need to sign in. You can just use the X at the upper right of that window. And I've been gathering together a list of organizations relating to homelessness and want to maintain that and hopefully add to it as we grow it and have it be our master source. I have an existing dashboard. It's coming up and there's only that single dot right now, probably the last thing I added. And here's a quick view of the data model. But I know that we have some sort of weird filter on. So I'm going to, there it is, it's grade section in the filter panel, and I can use that eraser to just remove that filter there. And here are all the organizations. The bar chart has been put together because I'm actually tracking how I found the information and also what I'm linking it to for other data sources. So I'm going, the other data sources that I'm linking to, I am going to highlight in orange. So the CRANEE means this is a charity that has to report to the Canada Revenue Agency. And the other orange has to do with the being listed as an Alberta nonprofit. I've also got a purple in there because as I learn, I might actually find other organizations that should be on the list. And so these ones I've added to the list, made a spot for them, and entered in data from Google Maps. As I've been talking, I've been changing the parameters on this visual. And so the paint roller is the symbol that you click on all the time. You can see the yellow highlighted line. That's active now. I am now changing the text title to make a more informative title for that visual. So this is sort of after you've done your rough work and you're starting to tidy up and you're really trying to fix your dashboard. These are you'll be using the paint roller a lot. You can change the alignment, the font color, which I'm going to keep the same as it was, as black, and then text size, just to make it more easily read. The top one in the blue is I searched data from Google Places API, and I do that by keywords. So the visual that's currently highlighted that has its corners, you can see them. I'm giving it a better name so people can know that the keywords actually came from or were used in a Google Places search. There's another source that I got organization names from, and that's from the Calgary Foundation Directory website. I'm just adding and fixing up the title there. I scraped information found on their website that were categorized under certain issues. So one of the things I really like about Power BI is you can click on a visual and then all the other visuals respond. So I'm clicking through the what's found through Google Places, what I saw I could connect to the CRA database, and now the Calgary Foundation. If I have it highlighted and then go over to this table and control click on the word homeless, then I get the information that was not only found by the Calgary Foundation, but also from the Google Places API using the keyword homeless. And when I look at these ones, they're all pretty good. You know, these are probably the right answer. I like that combination. If I click on the word homeless again, it undoes all the filters and brings us back to where we were. I'm walking through the Alberta nonprofits, and then I have added 9 places manually and not through using the APIs or web scraping, which is part of my master data management problem. How do you keep things up to date? On the left-hand side of Power BI desktop, I can select the grid and then I can actually look at any file that I select on the right-hand side. So I'm looking at this master organization list. This is all the information I ideally want on every organization. This column I'm showing you now is to show that there is overlap between organizations and where I find them. It is just a QC for me. This is the data model, and at the bottom here are the places where I'm finding these organizations, the Google Places API and the Calgary Foundation. I am now going to the Calgary Foundation website. You see this is their directory. They have a list of every organization that they help fund, and they have certain topics or issues. So I picked living standards, and there's another one I selected was wellness. And if I select a sub issue and search, it'll change the whole site and list organizations that match that search. There is overlap. They can show the same organization can actually, cover more than one issue and sub-issue. It's nice layout, more information, maybe for the Data for Good Datathon, people might want to actually look at these websites as well. The first place I did look for organizations was using Google Places API, which I'm showing you here, and you give a few keywords for it. And one of the keywords we did see was homeless, for example. I'm going back from the model view, and we'll go to the Power Query Editor because I have learned from a person I work with that another organization exists that we don't have in the list. So I know that name, and I'm going to actually find that, use Google Maps to find the information. It is Alcove Addiction Recovery for Women. So I figure if I can find it in Google Maps, then we're fine copying the address and getting the lat longs and putting it in our master list. So the copy address is easy, and those are the lat longs there in the URL. So I will note this information down, and I have this table called Master Location Corrections. And it is a table entry right in Power BI. So there, enter data is what I did to create it, and I clicked on the gear icon under steps to make additions to it. So this is what I'm getting from the Google Maps. And I'm putting a marker there saying Google Maps in address type. I thought the information charity was actually informative. It doesn't match what else you're getting from the Google Places API, but I am putting that marker Google Maps in there so I know the difference. Ideally, we would keep on updating the list so everything will look alike and complete, which would mean that you would continually rerun the whole list through Google Geocode at some point in time. But right now I'm just capturing that information because I don't want to lose it. And we actually need to use it. It's relevant. So you can see it's quite a bit different style. I'll also have accuracy probably blank, but I do want that lat long in there and could get it from the map, the Google Maps. So it is plottable and we can relate it to other spatial information. This, the corrections and the additions will go onto the master organization list. By clicking the gear icon to the right of the source, I can check which was my initial file I started with. I then appended this list of corrections and additions, and after that I do some deduplication to make sure you just get the latest update when it was an update, and of course we get our additions. We'll go back to the canvas view, and I'm going to open the filter here. Highlight the map because we'll do the filtering against the map. You see the icon map is turned on. That's a point map, so all those lat long locations are plotted up there. And first organization or ID, which also is called first input. This is sort of an early dashboard of mine. I'll type in alcove, and here we go. That's that new point we just added. And if I select it right, I can get all that extra information and check that it's really there. So this process will work for now for updates and additions, but what we really need is a master data management plan so we can have more automation and ensure our integrity of data, high data quality, and completeness.